Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk menu planning. I've had a number of you ask me for menu planning ideas and how I menu plan to do once a month grocery shopping, so I thought I'd bring you along today as I plan February's menu. Well, I am a girl who likes things simple. At least I like things simple for my brain. And so when I menu plan, I do it what makes sense and what seems the simplest and easiest to replicate every month for me. So it may not seem simple for you. You know how sometimes you can overcomplicate things in your simplicity. I have been guilty of that before, so I don't know if you'll think it's simple, but for me, I wanted it as simple as possible. And so first let me talk about breakfast, lunch, and snack. If you don't plan those out, especially for your children, I think it would be very hard to shop every 2 weeks or once a month. I could be wrong, but I think it would be very hard. I've tried before kind of winging it, and I just run out of stuff really fast, a lot faster than I thought I would. So what I've done over the years is I created a menu, and I use my computer. I just use my calendar that I find in my Apple computer, and I can see it on my phone then as well, but anything would work. Even a handwritten calendar would work just fine. So every Thursday we have the same breakfast, the kids do. We have bagels and smoothies. When I'm planning my menu, I count how many Thursdays are in February this time. There are 4, so I make sure I have enough bagels for everybody to have 1 bagel, and I have smoothie stuff enough to last those 4 weeks. Friday's breakfast is oatmeal and yogurt. I make homemade yogurt. I don't do it all the time, but I try to do it most of the time. We always have oatmeal. So that's an easy one that they can come make on their own. And then I do granola on Saturdays. Sunday mornings we do granola as well. I just changed that one recently because I realized granola is much easier for me. It's very easy to make. It's quick and easy. I have a video. I'll try to link it here, maybe in a card up here, if you want to see how I make granola. But Saturday mornings I always have a little time usually, so I can make it up and it will last a couple weeks for Saturdays and Sundays for a quick easy breakfast that's not a lot of fuss. And that we don't buy any cereals. Cereal goes way too fast. It's not good for them, and it's expensive. It adds up really quick, and also it does not keep them full at all, and granola does. So it's kind of our version of cold cereal here. On an interesting note, whenever it's their birthdays and they get to pick out their breakfast, they almost always pick cereal. So we do buy it once in a while, but it's when it's their choice for their breakfast. So on Mondays we have eggs. It's our day off, so we get up and move a little slower, and so usually cooks a bunch of eggs for us. On Tuesday we do applesauce and toast and cottage cheese. So I make sure this month there are 4 Tuesdays. I make sure I have 1 big jar of applesauce for every Tuesday. And then every time we pull out bread, we basically go through a whole loaf. So I'll make sure I have a loaf of bread for every Tuesday breakfast. And so it's easy, you see, it's easy for me to count out how many I need of everything. Wednesday we also do oats and yogurt. I started with Thursday because Thursday's the first this month, but that just gives you an idea of how I do breakfast. Lunch is the same way. Let me tell you really quick what I do for my lunches in case you're looking for ideas. If you've been watching some of my grocery hauls, you see that I was using some convenience food for sure this month, and I really wanted to, or this last couple months, and so I really wanted to change that around. We tried out a couple things this month just to see what the kids are liking right now, and I came up with a menu that I think will work for us, still be pretty quick and easy for lunches, not interrupt our homeschool day too much, but definitely cheaper and healthier than the convenience food. So on Thursdays I'm doing meat and cheese sandwiches more. I do have one kid that doesn't like that as much, but he can always have peanut butter and jelly. So we always kind of, with a lot of kids, there's a good chance that somebody's not going to like it. So either they have to put up with it, or if it's a simple, easy fix, like just doing a different kind of sandwich, I definitely let them do that. On Fridays, we do roll-ups, which is a tortilla, some meat and cheese or peanut butter and jelly inside, rolled up. If we do meat and cheese, we warm it up a little bit. On Saturday, I am keeping mac and cheese, so that's our one junk food day. But if we have a lot of leftovers, we don't end up eating mac and cheese, so I buy a box of it just to have around. And yeah, we use it if we need to. Sundays, we eat our big meal at lunchtime usually, and in the evening I just have popcorn for dinner, which we don't often do anyway. We'll just kind of scrounge around, but I don't plan a lunch or that kind of lunch for Sundays. Tuesdays we're doing tuna fish sandwiches. I have at least one kid that doesn't like that, so they'll just have to have a different kind of sandwich. Oh, that was Mondays, I'm sorry. Did I say Tuesdays? And then Tuesdays, I'm doing pancakes. And what I've figured out to make pancakes a lot faster for a school day lunch is that I am just I use the Betty Crocker recipe, and I do whole wheat flour. I triple the recipe, so everybody gets like only 3 pancakes, which is not a lot, but because they're whole wheat flour, it fills them up a lot. And I use coconut sugar instead of brown sugar. Like, it's pretty healthy. I think for them, we try to use maple syrup for our syrup on top, so the real thing. So it's a pretty good, healthy breakfast or lunch, but it's not a lot of food, so they eat fruit on the side that day. The sandwich days and other things, we do carrots and snap peas a lot. But for pancakes, what I figured out to make it fast is that at the beginning of the month, if I just make up all Ziploc bags of the whole month's worth of the dry ingredients, it doesn't take me much longer to just do it 4 times or 5 times for that month. And then I just mark that as pancake mix. And what I need, it's like milk, eggs, and coconut oil, I think, that I have to add to it when I'm mixing it up before I cook it. The kids can do that by themselves. So it helps a lot if I prepare those dry ingredients ahead of time, and it makes that breakfast lunch fast and easy. And I got this massive electric frying pan, so we can do a whole bunch at once. That also helps a lot with the time it takes. As you can see, I'm not interested in taking a lot of time for lunch at all. Egg burritos is Wednesday, so a kid can easily make any one of these lunches actually if I need them to. And yeah, so that's our lunches for the week. And then our snacks, we're keeping the same granola bars. So I make sure I have 7 kids that would eat granola bars, so there's 4 Thursdays in the month, so I just count up and make sure I have 28 granola bars at least. Just telling you how I make my menu. So as I'm menu planning, I'm also doing my grocery list at the same time. I use Wonderlist. It's an app, but it also shows up on my phone. There's so many apps you can use that are the same way, so I just go in and fill that out. I have an Aldi's list, a Sam's Club list, a Walmart list, an Amazon list, and I just fill in what I need as I'm going through my menu day by day. So my snacks are, Thursday is granola bars, Friday is pretzels. I get those big things at Sam's Club. Saturdays is yogurts, just the individual yogurts. My kids think they're a huge special treat compared to the yogurt I just make for them, which they do like, but they love those. I just buy those Chobani, whatever. You'll see them in my grocery hauls. They have fruit in them and stuff, and they're Greek yogurt. They just think that's so much fun. So have in mind that if Sunday we don't do a snack. Monday is hot chocolate right now, although in the summers we probably do popsicles that day. Tuesdays is breakfast bars, so it's just a granola bar that's more fruity I usually get. And Wednesdays we do frozen fruit. So those are our snacks, breakfasts, and lunch. So let me talk about our dinners. When I was first married and I did not know how to cook anything, like literally didn't know how to cook anything. I could remember my mom had tried. She really tried her best. I just wasn't into it. But I did come out kind of knowing how to make tacos and spaghetti, and there was a few other things. I came up, I think, with 5 meals that I could make. And so I literally did those 5 plus a pizza night and a leftover night, and that was my 7 meals, and I repeated those every week. And then gradually, as I learned, I'm not a good cook, but I do know how to read and follow directions. So as I stretched myself and learned more recipes, to make it easy for myself to know what to plan, I would do like every Monday would be Mexican, Tuesday would be Italian, Wednesday would be Kenyan food or whatever. I had kind of different genres that I would have. It gave me ideas of what to look for or just how to plan, so I'm not just grabbing from any recipe anywhere. Just help me in my mind to think and organize it. So those might be some ideas if you're just starting out and you want to plan once a week or every 2 weeks. of just how you can get it going of menu planning. The last several years, I had built up about 30 recipes, which I would switch out here and there that we really liked. And so I would use those every month. I would just cook each one of them every month. And I tend to do like chicken on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and ground meat, ground turkey a lot, or right now we have ground beef. I would do that a couple days a week. We've tried to do like steak, like stewed meat somehow one day a week, a crock pot meal or whatever. And so I have those all, or I guess I do fish on Wednesday. So I have it kind of planned out so I know where to put things in my mind so it's getting mixed up. It's not like we're eating the same kind of food day after day. So right now, I still use that system. I'm just not using my same menu because I got a new cookbook. If you've been around a little bit, you probably heard me talk about it. I got this cookbook and I just wanted to cook through it. It's the diet plan that I'm following. I've just been cooking through it. So this last month I did all the skillet meals, but I put in the beef meals Mondays and Fridays. I put in the chicken meals Tuesdays and Thursdays. I put in fish meals Wednesdays. So I'm cooking through the book, but I'm still kind of breaking it up so that we don't get too bored. So that's how I do it. When I go in here, I like to write what meal I'm making, what page it's on when it's newer for me, or where I can find the recipe. So I'm not like, where in the world did I come up with that? And then sometimes in my notes here on the side, I'll write like special ingredients that I need for this meal, so that when I type it in again the next time, it just comes up for me automatically of things I might need to check my cupboard for or my freezer for before I cook that meal again. It took me a long time to grow up to that 30 meals, and then I can switch them in and out, and that's worked the best for me. So this is kind of unusual because I'm cooking through a new book. So when I'm working with new recipes, or any recipe really, because my memory's not that great, I do try to go through those dinners, look through everything, make sure I have everything for that meal. I do go back for shopping halfway through the month for fresh veggies and fresh fruit. So if there's things that are fresh, like if a lot of the ingredients are fresh, I will put it in that meal near the beginning of the month or near the middle of the month so that it is right around when I have that fresh stuff. But it doesn't always, some things like zucchini for me will usually last just fine throughout the 2 weeks, so I don't worry about some of those things. It's like sometimes mushrooms or different things like that. You just want to make sure you use them close to when you buy them. While I menu plan, I add things to my lists as I go, and just to get it all done at once, it takes me about an hour to an hour and a half once a month, and I'm done for the whole month. Okay, so the last thing I'll show you is my menu that I keep visible, so I don't have to check my computer all the time, and my kids don't have to check with me all the time. So I keep this chalkboard here. It serves two purposes. Like I said, it helps us know what we're having this week, but it also is cute, and I like it. It got a Hobby Lobby, so if you're looking for something like this, it's huge. And see, it takes up half the door, but I love it. So I don't have to change hardly anything in here. This time I did change a few things, a few of the lunches that we had switched, but mostly I just come in every week and I change the dinners. The D, see, I got breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner for every day. So I just change the dinners, and I always write a page number for myself so I don't have to check again. So that is our week of menus. So the last thing I forgot to mention is that my husband and I don't eat the same breakfast, lunch, and snacks as the kids. So I've just learned over time with trial and error how much we need of the things that we like. We don't eat like in some regular scheduled thing for breakfast and lunch. But it really helps when you have a lot of kids to plan theirs out. So I just keep a lot of kale and eggs. My husband eats leftovers for lunch a lot. I eat salads. So we eat the same things more often, I guess. And then I keep plenty of that on hand. And we don't usually have a problem running out. So that works for us pretty good. I really don't enjoy cooking. Not my favorite. I don't enjoy grocery shopping that much. And I think that's why I've gotten very organized about it, because I don't want it to take up a whole lot of my life. I know some women enjoy it a lot, and I admire that. I wish I did more. Sundays, I forgot to mention for dinners, I don't plan dinners on Sundays, but I've been trying to cook double as much as I can. Oh my. even of these new recipes, because I have a baby coming and I know I will need the time, if not when the baby's born. The worst for me is the third trimester, so I want to have some extra meals in the freezer. And also in February or in January, I did not use every single one of my meals. I probably had 4 or 5 extra that I didn't use, so they keep getting pushed to the end. And so I have started February with those meals, and that will save me some money in February as well.